Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Informal Program, a show that just may stick around long enough to be invited to the NCAA Tournament when they expand to just about everyone. Assuming the NCAA exists past next week, of course. How we looking?
Good.
Yeah. Got to get to Dave's camera in just a moment. It is the Informal Program. I am Daniel, your host, joined as always by a cast of characters who you can see behind me, because today we have made it to the YouTubes. If you're watching this, yes, it means that we have made it to the YouTubes, which is something that I wasn't sure that we could get to. Just, yeah. As a people, as a society. Those are all of our sound bites. We are celebrating. Yeah, we like celebrating around here. Winners! At the end of the show, we will have our winners of the week. Yes, John, thank you. Winners!
What will the list be full of?
Full of winners! From various cities?
We know we're a winning city!
Thank you. Let me do the show. I am concerned about Dave's camera. That's the first thing. Dave looks very small.
Whoa, that's a little harsh.
No, I'm just saying your camera looks like you're being swallowed by the room. Can we go to Dave's shot?
Hi,
Dave. You look consumed. Mine is close. You can see me. You can zoom out a little bit. There we go. You can see the affiliates above me. That's an inside joke. If you know what it is, informalprogram.com. Go to the mailbox. You can send a letter. Every week we're going to have a different affiliate, and the affiliates will correspond with something. It's an inside reference.
You probably should have even explained that. There are affiliates.
Yes, there are affiliates. Some people may recognize some of the affiliates. Yes, John.
Where can people find us on YouTube?
YouTube at Informal Program.
do you think we should change the name for the YouTube show from the Informal Program to something else?
Do you have any ideas?
No, I'm just throwing it out there.
I don't know, Dave. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you could produce.
What do you think this is?
Yeah, who do you think that is over there? Lord Michaels?
No, I don't think it's Lord Michaels. What? What kind of a reference is that?
He's the most famous producer right now.
Okay, very, very good. That is true. Yes, he is probably the most famous producer any of us know. All right, so you can find us youtube.com at Informal Program if you want to see the show. If you want to see what Dave looks like, you want to see Dave very small, surrounded by the pool of controversy, which I thought died, which is still here somehow. I don't know. I don't understand. I thought that he died. I thought we killed him. But the pool of controversy is there. The penalty assessing robot is there near Dave, and there's just Dave being swallowed by the shot. John looks good.
Hi.
Yeah, John looks great. And the Vegas Golden Hat is over there. We don't need to bring the Vegas Golden Hat onto camera because we don't need to. Okay, I guess we do. There he is. Feed his ego because, yeah, I know they're great. Vegas is great. Yes, every time. They've been great. You have had nothing but success. Yes, that's great. You started in 2018. You went to the you went to the Cup final the first year. Yes. And then you won last year. Yes. And then you got drunk on the air and we had to suspend you. Yes, all that's true. As I mentioned in the cold open, NCAA Tournament in the news. NCAA is in the news. I won't even get to Tennessee and Virginia winning a lawsuit that basically says the NCAA can't do anything about name, image, and likeness, which at this point...
We know we're a winning city!
Virginia and Tennessee.
Yes. The well-known cities of Virginia and Tennessee. They won.
City.
They won.
We are winners!
Are they in the winners of the week?
Winners!
They should be. You need to redo the list. I'll put them in.
I'm not redoing the list. The list is finished. At the end of the show, we'll have the winners of the week where we unveil the...
We are winners! Winners!
Sorry.
As you were.
Where I'll count down the top 10 winners of the week. But no, they were not on the list. But if I could get to it...
You don't have to be so huffy.
What... As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, which basically, that's a redundant statement. That's all that happens around here. You'll understand if you watch. Tennessee and Virginia won. Do not play another soundbite, John. I see you. Do not. I'm watching you.
But when your back's turned.
No. Tennessee and Virginia won a case against the...
We are
That's
winners!
it.
Winners!
You guys do the show. Just you do whatever you want to do. Yes. All right, let's celebrate them. I can't even get to what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the expanded tournament, but no. Let's get caught up on a lawsuit that I'm not even discussing that's way above your heads because I don't think you would understand a word of it.
Well, that's a little harsh.
I'd understand like if V showed up.
You read it, Mr. Wise Guy?
No, I haven't read it.
Oh, why are you talking about it?
Because the case is important because it essentially says that the NCAA, who was ready to... I see you, John. I'm not even going to... I don't care at this point. The NCAA, who was ready to potentially penalize Tennessee and Virginia Tech. Anyway, Tennessee was definitely involved. I don't remember which Virginia school was involved. But Tennessee was about to get hit with some penalties for name, image, and likeness violations. And essentially, this court case says the NCAA has no power over this. So we're kind of living in the world where the NCAA doesn't do what the NCAA used to do, which is just run around slapping fines and sanctions on people, which leads to the NCAA tournament.
How?
I don't remember because you interrupted me 9 minutes ago. The president of the NCAA came out and said, there's a chance we may expand the tournament. And I don't get it. I do not understand this. This has always been my thing with college basketball.
Oh, here comes the rant.
No, this is a legitimate gripe as someone who watches a lot of sports. This is what I do not understand. If someone understands college basketball and wants to help me out, informalprogram@gmail.com or informalprogram.com, and you can click on the mailbox. Help me out with this. I do not understand a sport that is allergic to the idea of competition. Someone please help me out. How is that totally uncalled for?
Totally. I don't care who you are. That's what's just wrong.
Name me another sport. I've said this before. This is not a new take, but name me another sport that invites everyone to their playoffs. Because the conference tournaments are, in essence, playoffs. And I do not understand. I understand the idea that, hey, we want to make sure that, Cinderella gets to the NCAA tournament. I have no problem with that. But can you imagine how absurd it would be if the NBA season ended and the Detroit Pistons were somehow in a bracket where they could end up in the NBA Finals? What? We would all say, what? That's what I don't understand. I don't get why they want to expand the tournament. There are already 64 teams. You already allow literally anyone with a pulse who is not, well, at this point, they can probably let anyone in because the NCAA isn't even sanctioning anyone, but you let anyone with a pulse and a basketball team and shorts into your conference tournament so they all can make the NCAA tournament, and you want to expand it now? I don't understand. I don't get it.
Yes.
Well, I think the theory is they want to expand it because, some of the big teams are getting knocked out for the Cinderellas.
Okay, then you know what? Just the Big Ten and the SEC, just go on and make your own tournament then. Just leave the NCAA. If that's what we want, if that's what we're going to do here, let's just do that.
What a shame.
Let's just do that. I've never understood it. I never have. It has taken me until this year to actually watch and enjoy college basketball because every time I turn on the game, I just got caught on the hook of this does not matter for the conference because they're all going to be in the tournament at the end of the day. I don't understand it. We'll be back with more thoughts on this in a little bit. And welcome back. It's the Informal Program, live on...
Not really live.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Was that really necessary? Do we really need to derail the show just so you could get in with your,
Yes.
It was? Well, actually, it's not actually live because where can people watch this as it's being broadcast? You know what I mean. We're not making cuts. For crying out. Never mind.
You're not in a good mood. I don't want the viewing audience to see you and you're like, man, this dude's angry.
Okay. Thank you.
What?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what to do with that.
He called you angry, man. Get roasted.
Wow. I'm so Well, how will I ever recover from Dave Rogers just throwing out, oh, he's angry because nothing has gone well and everyone's being incompetent. All right. Quickly, before we get to the big story of the week, which is sponsored by Bagman's Papers. Really? Bagman's Papers bought that?
Yes.
The big story of the week is brought to you by Bagman's Papers?
We got a copy for you to read as well. From Bagman's Papers.
There's no way that's real. There's no way we were actually sponsored.
But you want me to show you the money?
No, that's all right. I sure. He paid us?
Yes.
So one of our own people who hosts the 5 Minute LA Sports Show, which you can find on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, it should be underneath the latest episode of the Informal Program.
Wow, you think that lowly of it?
No, I mean it. No, I mean no, I mean it literally. No, I mean it's literally underneath because no, I don't mean it's below us, like it's a worse show. If anything, he's probably better than we are because he actually, gets to speak without being interrupted by sound bites. But I mean literally lower because our show comes after his show. I'm ignoring John. Our show is after his show, so if you scroll down, his is below us. That's what I meant. Don't get me sidetracked. Anyway, so Bagman, who works for us, gave us money to promote his paperwork. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So the big story of the day, we'll get to that in a moment, brought to you by Bagman's Papers. But in closing, with the tournament talk, it's just I don't get it. I don't get it. I never have. I never understood why. And I think that thankfully, I think if this massive college realignment will allow anything to happen, it will actually allow for there to be some sort of restriction on who can show up to the conference tournament. Because a 24-team league where all 24 teams end up in Iowa or Kansas City, wherever they're having the tournament, it's going to be unmanageable. So finally, maybe we'll have to have, I don't know, a regular season where you only have certain participants participating in the conference tournaments. I don't think it needs to be expanded. 96, 100. People say, why doesn't every college basketball team get in? Well, why are we playing games? Why not just have a tournament? Why not just play, I don't know, one game or just roll dice or go have people scout across America and say, that team looks like the best. Just seed them that way and then just have a great tournament. I think if we're going to do it that way, anyway. Now it's time to get to the big story of the week, brought to you by Bagman's Papers. Folks, there's really copy for this? This seems totally ridiculous.
Yes.
Folks.
That's how good copy starts.
Yes, I'm. Says who?
Says the copy people, Listen, I don't make the rules. I'm just the messenger here. I gave you copy to read, and good copy starts with folks.
He's right.
When have you written radio commercials?
Well, I haven't because I didn't start with folks and they kicked me out.
Okay, thank you very much, wise guy. The big story of the day, the week, excuse me. Big story of the week brought to you by Bagman's Papers. Folks, if you have a talk show and you need papers, use Bagman's Papers. But don't steal them from him. Ask him first. For more information, listen to the 5 Minute LA Sports Show with Bagman, available on Apple Podcasts right before the Informal Program. That is the 5 Minute LA Sports Show with Bagman. Subscribe, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Look for it on your audio devices at 5 Minute LA Sports Show. Actually, that's not right. Who wrote this? That's not right. You just find the Informal Program, and underneath the latest episode will be the 5 Minute LA Sports Show. I don't know who wrote this. That's not true. All right, it is the big story of the week. There is no bigger story across the world of sports, probably, than court storming. For those of you unfamiliar with the incident, I don't know if we have the rights to use video, but I'm sure that our video staff is going to find some way to depict Kyle Filipowski being stick figures. That's how we're going to do it?
Yep.
Okay, very nice. I'm glad that we're...
Yes.
That one, okay, so the one... They didn't even make them different colors. There's just one stick figure in the crowd of stick figures named Kyle, who's looking very sad.
Yes.
This is how we're doing it?
Yep.
Okay, very good. Wow, what a budget we have here. So Kyle Filipowski, a Duke player, is running. Well, he's trying to get off the court after Duke loses to Wake Forest, and depending on who you ask, he stuck his leg out, or he got tripped or got hit, and anyway, he's slightly injured, or is he injured? I don't know. It's a whole deal. But here's the point. We are now having a discussion on court storming in college basketball. Should it happen? Is it dangerous?
Yes.
That's true. So on one end of the spectrum, we have the Duke haters who are so blinded by their rage, and I don't know. I just don't understand being that mad at a jersey for 30 years. Coach K isn't there anymore. JJ Redick isn't there anymore. I mean, what has Kyle Filipowski done to deserve being hated on behalf of, I don't know, Grant Hill? It's odd. Anyway.
Well, I mean, you hate the Astros, right? And how many Astros are still there?
That's a fair point. I mean, I get it. I'm just saying that the national consciousness to go into social media.
Well, that was your first mistake, going to social media.
Well, I'm just saying, to see comments saying essentially, well, it's a Duke guy. Well, let's just shrug. And essentially, like, wait till someone else gets injured who's not a Duke player, and then maybe we'll have a discussion. Like, it had that feel to it, and it didn't feel good. It didn't feel right. Kyle Filipowski he was injured. He was helped off the court after running into a fan. Now, on one end of the extreme, you have people who are essentially saying, homie should have gotten off the court sooner, which is the dumbest take possible because the shot clock or the game clock didn't even hit 0 before one person was at the foul line. Like, these people converged onto the field like ants when I drop an Oreo in a park. That's what it looked like. Then on the other hand, you have Jay Billis and some analysts saying there should be arrests, there should be sanctions if people run on the court. You've probably been wondering what my thoughts were on this.
Yep, America's been waiting. What do you say, Daniel? Is it going to be some nuanced take where you take everyone's side?
No. What I'm going to say is I have long thought that court storming was kind of dumb. I separate it. Yeah, I know. I gave an actual take. I separate it from college football because one of these events happens on a large 110-yard grass field. The other one happens in an enclosed gymnasium. I want you to do your own research, folks. I want you to go out and I want you to, you're probably on YouTube right now. Go on YouTube, open up a new tab because you want to stay here with the Informal Program. Go on YouTube, look up college football field storming. And what you'll see are a very happy group of people running onto the field where there's a lot of space for them to run. Then I want you to look up college basketball and tell me that it doesn't look like somewhere between Black Friday 10 years ago and a riot.
I think you should clarify you mean the Black Friday shopping.
Yeah, because, I mean, you said riot. I don't want you to get, canceled.
Really?
Just saying, I'm trying to look out for you, man. Just be careful.
Clarify what you mean.
I've about had it with these two. Those are my thoughts. Two are different. One's more dangerous than the other one. Be careful, college basketball people. We will be back, maybe, if I don't just quit. See you later.
And now we resume the Informal Program.
Oh, it's time for Winners of the Week. Very exciting. My favorite part of the show. For those of you who are new to the show, this is the part of the show where we count down the winners of the week. Around the world of sports, there are a lot of events that happen. There are a lot of figures. There are a lot of people who deserve some attention as one of the winners.
We are winners!
That's right. Thank you.
Winners! Winners!
Do you have any more?
Full of winners!
Yes. The week in sports.
Full of winners!
Some of them come from cities.
We know we're a winning city!
And some of them aren't done winning.
We got more winning to do!
But who are the winners among all other winners? That's what this segment is for. John, without further ado, it's time. Hit me.
Hang on.
One day we'll get this right.
It's time for the best countdown in sports radio.
I don't know
From
about
10
that.
to 1, here are the Informal Program's
Winners! Winners! Winners!
All right. Well, your possibly problematic comments taken out of context.
They were in context. You know what I mean.
I'm just saying I wouldn't put those words together in this climate in America. Anyway, due to that and just generally you talking too much, we only have time for 8, so go straight to number 8.
All right, very good. One day we're going to get to all 10.
Yeah, and one day the Angels are going to have a winning record. Burn! Do we have the roast sound? John, play the roast sound. John, do you have the roast sound? John, that was a good one. John!
I'm trying here.
Could have said something.
Say it again.
No, the moment's lost. Just like the Angels every year. Am I right?
Okay, great. Thank you. We don't have time.
Let the roast play out.
We don't have time to get to all 10, but here I am spending 2 minutes to roast the Angels.
Well, I mean, for you, they spent like 20 years roasting, so what's 2 minutes?
All right. Enough. Thank you. All right, fine. That's enough of that. All right, give me the imaging for number 8. Let's go.
Number 8.
Coming in at number 8, Wake Forest. They beat Duke. That's about all we have. That's all they did.
It's number 7.
Coming in at number 7 is Chevrolet. For those of you NASCAR fans out there or non-NASCAR fans, let me explain what Chevrolet is doing this year. Winning. We have had 6 NASCAR events, 2 cup races.
What?
This is not I'm not stone cold here, please. 2 cup races.
What?
Enough. No, we're not doing that. That's another podcast does that. 2 truck races.
What?
And John.
Sorry.
And 2 Xfinity Series races.
What?
Chevrolet has won them all. 6-0. Speed Weeks in Daytona, people said this is the Ford year. Ford swept the front row. Again, in this race, Ford swept the front row. People said the Toyotas are going to be good, but no, at the end of the day, Chevrolet has won every single NASCAR race in the top 3 levels so far. That is pretty impressive, and that is apparently just good enough for number 7.
At number 6.
Coming in at number 6, speaking of NASCAR, the number 6 winner of the week, Shady Sports Innovation. Now, I mentioned moments ago that Ford swept the front row, which means they got the pole position. They were the fastest cars, and I don't even know why John's laughing. I don't want to know. Swept the first 2 positions in qualifying. They were the fastest 2 cars. Joey Logano, who you may have heard of, he was on an episode. What was that show he was on?
Oh yeah, it was like a hamster wheel or something.
I don't think it was called Hamster Wheel.
You know, Destroy, Build, Destroy?
No, I don't remember, but there's an episode of the show that I've mentioned Joey Logano's name, and people are like, oh, yeah, he was on this Nickelodeon show. I don't remember what it was. None of us do, but you may have heard the name. He's a NASCAR champion. He won the pole for the Daytona 500. He started second next week at Atlanta. Turns out that Joey Logano got in trouble for using some gloves that were not approved. Now, you may be asking, how on earth could gloves be some sort of cheating advantage? Well, this is the brilliance. Joey Logano had gloves that were webbed like a duck or like a hockey player. And what Joey Logano did with his webbed gloves, he held his hand up to the window net in an effort to stop the air from coming into his window. And because he had the webbed glove, extra air was allowed to push through instead of going through the window, and he was able to go faster. So number 6 is sly, what was the word here? Shady Sports Innovations, because that is some next level genius, trickery, just total disregard for the rule book, but maybe there wasn't a rule against it. So in the end, that's actually pretty smart. So shout out to all of them. Number 6, Shady Sports Innovations.
Here's number 5.
Coming in at number 5 is Patrick Kane, former Chicago Blackhawks legend. What?
Careful with that. This isn't going to age well in 2 years.
Okay, thank you. That's the name of the team now.
So was the one in Washington.
What do you want me to do?
Just, keep speaking. I just want to let you know it's not going to age well.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. I really needed that right now. As we're trying to run out of time, you continue to interrupt me. I don't get it. What do you want me to do?
I want you to do the list.
I was trying to do the list. You said, let's roast the Angels. Number 5 is...
Well, they did that to themselves.
Yes, they did. Thank you. I'm an Angels fan. I've been an Angels fan since 2002 when I was a child. I had no idea that they squandered Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani and haven't had a winning record with either of them. I had no idea. Thank you for enlightening me. Coming in at number 5.
You don't have to be, rude about it.
Coming in at number 5, Patrick Kane, former Chicago Blackhawks legend. He came back to Chicago to a fine tribute. They were retiring Chris Chelios' number. He was another Chicago Blackhawk legend. And for the Detroit Red Wings, who he now plays for, he scored the goal in overtime to beat the to beat the Blackhawks. Red Wings fans still went crazy because it's Patrick Kane. It's their all-time great guy. And that was number 5. Now number 4.
At number 4.
Coming in at number 4, the court storming police. If you were out there in America saying, you know what, we shouldn't be court storming, you had a really good week of validation. Kyle Filipowski gets injured, unfortunately. Hope he's all right, but there you go. Number 3.
And now, your top 3.
Coming in at number 3, the Los Angeles Dodgers. I don't know if you heard, but the Dodgers won 14-1 to start spring training, and people are already preparing the banner. They're undefeated so far in spring training, and they had a World Series preview that is going on as we speak. World Series preview? They're playing the Rangers in spring training. What is this?
This is number 2.
Coming in at number 2, Atlanta Motor Speedway, who had one of the great NASCAR finishes of all time. Of all time.
Of all time.
I'm gonna let you finish, but Atlanta Motor Speedway had one of the great finishes of all time.
Yeah, very funny. Very funny there. Hilarious. You truly are a comedic force of our time, Mr. Dave West.
Yeah, you're Daniel West.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Whoa. Hold on. Homie, who's getting on me for saying Chicago Blackhawks, just did a Kanye West imitation.
Yeah, you got me.
All right, let's just number 2, they had one of the great finishes of all time. Before we run out of time quickly, let's just go to number 1.
Here's number 1.
What a disaster this list has been. I mean, you talking and all that. Coming in at number 1 this week, there can only be one. People who tried to warn everyone about Fanatics. I don't know if you heard, but Fanatics has been having some problems in the uniform game. If you don't know, look it up for yourself. See-through pants, wrong numbers, etc. It's been a mess. I am Daniel. This is the crew. We'll see you next week. Bye.
This is the Informal Post Show.
All right, I'm sorry about that.
So we went overtime
Because he could not stop talking.
it really was amazing for a guy who claimed to want to make sure that we did everything on time. For the first time in show history, we actually exceeded our broadcasting window and went an extra minute because Dave over here just had so many Angels jokes to get in.
You also could have read the clock.
I tried to read the clock. You stopped the show for a roast?
You know what? I'm going to say, you sound whiny. You come across as very whiny today.
Okay, thank you. And, okay, thanks.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know. Look in the mirror.
If you want to make the world a better place, start with the man in the mirror and make that change.
That's right, what he said.
No, I don't think that Dave came up with that. That's just a guess.
Now you caught me.